welcome back to another episode of the Double or Nothing podcast. I am your host, Johnny B, alongside Dylan here. We are in NFL Week 7 already, season a third of the way done. It's kind of
Yeah.
sad thinking of it that way. Looking forward to another week. Looks like we have some great games this week. We'll go over kind of what we did last week. I know for me, not a great week.
No, it wasn't a great overall week. I think I won all the primetime games, which was cool.
Yeah.
I had Niners, Bengals, Bills, so that was good. To be honest with you, I don't know the overall record, but I know it wasn't wonderful.
Yeah, I think I only hit 6 out of 6 games and did not do well in the best bets. I got smoked by the Jets
I
on
forgot the best bets too.
the Monday night. The Jets should have covered the spread, but their kicker can't make field goals. The other prime time, you picked the Bengals. I picked the Giants. A deadlock 7-7 game going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Again, another field goal kicker that can't make field goals. It just a couple bad beats. I know I had Cardinals Packers was my best bet over 47.5.
Oh, that
Lands
hit.
on 47.
Oh, that didn't hit. Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, depending when you took the number because it did go down to 46
Yeah.
and a half. So, but of course, for the
Yeah.
pod took it 47.5, so it doesn't hit. But it fluctuated between the two.
I don't really remember my best. Oh, best bets were I didn't hit the Eagles, but then I won the other two because I think the other two were the over in the Commanders game, which
Yeah,
I hit,
over in the Commanders.
and the
flew
Niners.
by. Yeah.
And the Niners were 3.
Yeah,
So
I
I
mean,
think I went 2-1 in best bets and 3-0 in prime time, but I lost. If I'm gonna do the math on it now, I mean the Niners I won, Saints lost, Packers, Cardinals lost. That's 2. I took the Titans. That's a loss 3. Eagles
Yeah.
lost 4. Patriots lost 5, and then I won. So 1-5, 2-5, 2-6, 3-6, 4-6, 4-7, 5-7. I went 6-7.
Formal apology to the Bears fans, a rowdy bunch. I tuned into the comments on the on TikTok. You guys get amped up, and you know what? We were dead wrong. You can post this as a clip on TikTok. I just want to say I'm sorry. You know what? The Jags are terrible, and
Yeah.
obviously we didn't see the game correctly, and it was just a beat down from the second quarter on. It was funny because I'm thinking to myself, the Jags are up 3-0. I'm like, man, the Bears don't look that great. So
Yeah.
maybe Dylan and I were on to something here. And then it was just like, oh, man, we're just biding our time until the Bears get warmed up. And then they just destroyed the Jaguars.
Yeah. I mean, Caleb looked great.
I have a couple
Defenses-
teams on the chalked list. I have 3 teams: Browns, Titans, Jaguars. 3 teams chalked list. We'll never bet. We'll never give them as a pick, ever.
Yeah.
3 teams, never. I'm done with Will Levis. I'm done with Deshaun Watson and the Jaguars. Forget it. They're just bad.
Yeah. Those 3 teams, I mean, they haven't looked great. I don't know why I have, because that's such an opposite take. I was so right on the Jaguars just being this overrated team that wasn't going to play good coming in. And then for whatever reason, one random day before the NFL season even started, I had this like epiphany that Trevor Lawrence was going to have like this wonderful season, this unbelievable season.
Yeah.
And I was just wrong. I don't know, but I still have this like weird gut feeling where it's like hard for me to go against the Jags, even though I watch them play bad every week. So I don't know
I can't.
what's going on there.
It's been
but-
like 10 or 11 straight games that they are just.
I've been
poor.
this like guy who like thought
can't.
Doug Peterson was gonna turn that place around too. I like always liked Doug Peterson and all this stuff. It's just for whatever reason, it's just not working out over there. So
Doug
yeah.
Peterson is going to get, in the time that Mike Tomlin has been a head coach for the Steelers, Doug Peterson is going to have been fired twice and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Think
so
how
weird.
crazy that is.
So weird. So
I
weird.
was the same way. I like Doug. I think
Yeah,
his
me
offense was
too.
always pretty good, but it's like, you know what?
They're not on my chalk list yet.
They're on mine. They're
but
done.
I understand why they would be. I still have this like random hope that they're gonna turn it around. I
The
don't know.
defensive coordinator runs their defense like it's a hockey line, where like on second down he'll bring in a second defensive line and different running, and then keep subbing back and forth as
Yeah.
the drive goes along, and it just isn't working. I mean, they
Hey.
get gutted every week.
Yeah, they haven't looked great. So, I mean, I'm not going to totally disagree with you. It's just,
Yeah,
I'm still up in the air on the Jags. I know they're terrible and they haven't played good. I'll probably stay away, but I don't know if I'm like done with them completely yet.
Well, all right. We'll start getting into the week 7 lines here, and we'll do a better job. Like I told Dylan before the podcast, home team underdogs went 0-9 last week, which I think was probably the only time in history, and probably won't ever happen again. So good week for the public betting, bad week for.
Wow, yeah, that's a crazy stat. I mean, like you said, you just told me that before. I didn't even know what to make of it. That's insane. I didn't recognize that when I was watching, so
Yeah.
I wasn't really putting 2 and 2 together. But that is a crazy stat.
Usually
I mean,
it's vice versa, or not. Not that home team.
I mean, if you tell, like,
I
I usually like going that way. Home
Yeah.
teams getting points is usually a good sign from. I don't know. If you're going to gamble on the game,
Yeah.
you kind of like the home dog. So for them to go 0-9, I mean, I didn't really base any of my betting on that last week too much. So I guess it didn't kill me. But wow, that's just
Yeah,
a crazy
crazy.
stat. Yeah.
All right, so we'll start with the Thursday night game. We got the Broncos at the Saints. Saints are +3. Over under is 37.
So what's the
The
spread?
Saints are +3 at home against Denver.
What?
Yeah.
The Saints are getting 3 points at home
Yes.
against the Broncos?
Yeah.
That can't be right. Are you reading that right?
I'm reading it right. Broncos -3. On
Oh,
the
dude,
road.
that's criminal. That should not be the case. I'm taking the Saints at home getting 3 points.
Oh,
Listen, I get. Would they give up like 48, 50? I don't know, 50 plus points last week, right?
51 points.
Yeah, 50 points is a lot of points to give up, but like even still, I almost like it more because of that.
Me
Like,
too.
Yeah, I almost like that more because of that. Like I mean, the Saints are a pretty good defense. I obviously last week didn't show that, and
And they struggled a little bit against the Chiefs too, but I think a large part of that was the 3 and outs.
I like Spencer Rattler, so
Yeah.
like I mean I know he might not be fantastic, or I think he's going to be really good. And if you're going to give me a Saints team that has a lot of offensive firepower, has played pretty good on defense up until last week, 3 points against who the hell is Bo Nix giving 3 points?
Yeah,
That's preposterous, dude. Like give me the Saints +3.
I'm
That's
taking
easy.
the Saints +3 too. I mean,
Wow.
it's not that like the final score of the Chargers Broncos game looked better than what it was. The Broncos were dead in the water. It was 23-0 going into the fourth, and classic Bo Nix scores his 2 garbage time touchdowns, and they take a field goal and they're down 7 with less than a minute left, and the game was over in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Like
This isn't even that much against like
the Broncos.
Yeah, like
well,
it's not that
it's-
much. Like I think the Broncos have played all right, but
Nah,
like you
yeah.
can't give the Saints 3 points at home. Like when you're not as like, dude, the Broncos
What is
shouldn't
it
be laying
saying?
points
Like,
to anybody.
Who are the Broncos to laying points on the road?
Yeah, no, they're no, that should not be the case at all.
Give us the Saints +3.
Yeah.
All right, we have another lending game this week. We
Okay.
have the New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars -5.5, over under 42.5. I think you guys know where I'm going with this one.
Yeah, wow, that's an ugly game. That's an ugly game.
hideous
I actually
game.
didn't think Drake May looked horrible.
Oh, he played great.
Yeah, I didn't think he looked bad.
He had 2 picks, but one was like tipped off the guy.
Yeah, that was a crazy pick.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
crazy. He had that long touchdown throw to
Was it Douglas or Polk?
I don't know who it was, but he looked all right. Jags have not looked good. Like almost the same thing. I should almost be freaking out like I was freaking out in the Broncos game. Like
Who are the Jags to laying 5.5?
Wow, I was not expecting this. I should have looked a little bit more into this before we started, but it was a long work week, so I kind of just am winging it this week. But oof, I don't like taking the Jags. You know what? I'll ride the Johnny pick here. I don't know if this is what you're doing, but I'm just assuming. I'm gonna go under 42.5 here.
Oh no, I was gonna take the Patriots +5.5.
I'm gonna go under 42.5 here. I just don't
Nice.
think either team is good enough right now or playing well right now to like just be firing off points left and right. I think Patriots defense can play okay. I know CJ Stroud kind of
Yeah, they got
made work
embarrassed
of 'em.
last week, so that's why I like the bounce back
Yeah.
here. And
I'll
it's
go under 42.5 just because I can't really lean one way or the other. Like I like Drake May enough where 5.5 seems like it's a good pick, but I also still have this blind hope that like Trevor Lawrence is going to turn it around. So I'll just take the under.
yeah, it's tough because it was like going into the London games last week. Rookies were 0-6, to win the game in London, and then Caleb Williams wins the game. So now it's like, well, we have another rookie going into London, but this Jags team, I mean, when you have who was it, the safety after the game that said there's a lot of giving up right now, like the team's just not, there's
Yeah.
there's an effort problem on the
Mhm.
team. And for a starting defensive player to recognize that, and then Doug Peterson just saying, yeah, no one's really doing great right now. It's like, when are they going to figure it out? So 5.5 seems like a little too much. Patriots actually did a great job offensively, way better than what I thought they were going to do. So Drake May did awesome. And if fantasy people, if Demario Douglas isn't picked up yet, and maybe consider picking him up. And also, Evan Ingram's first game back last week of the year, or since week 1, 10 catches or 11 catches for 100 yards. So
Yeah, that's
great week for him.
Yeah, he's good, man.
But give me the Patriots plus 5.5. Too many points. Who are the Jags? Sunday, 1 o'clock slate. We have a good start off game here. The Seattle Seahawks are at the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons -3, over under 51.
Yeah, I like the Falcons -3 here. The Seattle Seahawks have been Jekyll and Hyde, I mean, they came out looking great. Didn't really play anybody though. So, and then they really, really, really like let me down big time against the Giants. And then, San Fran kind of rolled in there and made easy work of them. And I just don't really. I think Atlanta's finally finding their groove, playing well together, kind of coming into their own as a team. And I don't think 3 points is enough. If it was 3.5, it would have been a harder decision for me. But
Yeah.
if it's only a field goal, I'll lay the 3 with Atlanta.
Yeah, Seattle's defense is just really struggling. And it seems like Kirk and that offense have I know they just played the Panthers last week, so it's like.
Yeah, but they threw for 500. He threw for 500 yards against the Bucks.
I know.
the
It
week
seems
before.
like the offense is just in a groove.
Yeah,
now. So
yeah,
3
absolutely.
points at home, I'm right there with you. Like you said, if it was a half, then it's like you think about it. Seattle's offense is good, but to be honest, Seattle's offense didn't look that great against 49ers. They looked terrible against the Giants. So give me the Falcons at home, -3 as well. We have the Tennessee Titans next at the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo -8.5, over under 41.5.
Will Levis stinks. The tight, I mean, there's no way around it.
Yeah, he's bad.
The Bills' offense is really good. They kind of snuck out of there in New York with a win in the Monday night game. Short week for the Bills. But with that said, I mean, 9 points is a lot. And I just keep flashing back. I know they're a totally different team, but I flash back to me loving the Bills on Monday night versus the Titans like a few years back, and the Titans just blew the doors off them.
Two different teams.
I know, two different teams, but I'm just saying, like when you said Bills Titans, it reminded me of that because I remember how deadlocked I was on the Bills and just watched that game like, whoa, that shocked me. Not really relevant to this, but it's just kind of the first thought that popped into my head. When everybody kind of was counting the Titans out in that game, and then they kind of came out and beat up the Bills. It's really, really 9 points is a lot. What's the over under?
41.5.
And I think the Titans defense is not
Yeah,
bad.
they're pretty good.
But that's the over under is pretty low. I'll lay the number here, man. Give me the Bills -9. Will Levis, like you said, kind of in the doghouse as far as gambling is concerned. Like it's really tough to take him.
Yeah.
So I'll take the Bills. Getting back on track. They kind of played like a weird down to the wire game with the Jets. Great defense. They come out with the win. I think now they're gonna go into Tennessee and have a little bit of an easier time. So I'll lay the 9 points with the Bills.
Yeah, I'll take the Bills as well, -8.5. Great teaser
Oh,
leg.
8.5. Okay,
8.5,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Whatever, 8.5.
Great teaser leg if you can get the Bills in a 6-point tease, -2.5. They're gonna beat Tennessee. Like Calvin Ridley in the locker room after the game is like, I'm not getting the targets that I should. Obviously, we kind of knew that going in. It's like, Will Levis is just not a good quarterback. I mean, they're not a good football team. the guy makes 2 or 3 boneheaded decisions every single week, and we all act like we're surprised.
There was
and
a
it
small bit
just-
of hope for me this year coming in, though, that he was going to kind
I
of
can't-
sling it around a
I-
little
I
bit.
can't do it with him. He's
Yeah.
so bad. And
Yeah,
you know what?
he's
The
looked
Bills,
horrible.
the Bills have Amari Cooper now. Big trade this week.
Yeah.
Bring in some life into Buffalo. It's been their first. They've been on the road the last 2 games, so coming back home, 1:00 slate. I think they steamroll the Titans, so I'll take a -8.5 too.
Everybody wishing they would have taken those Amari Cooper trades I was offering in fantasy a few weeks back.
He is now a buy high on Amari Cooper. He's gonna kill it there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
All right, next we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns. Bengals laying 6 on the road, over under 41.5.
Yeah, not much to talk about here. I know the Browns kind of hung around, and the Eagles really should have made easy work of the Browns, and they didn't.
Well, 10-point swing. I mean, the Phillies kicking a field goal, they're going to make. It gets blocked, return for a touchdown. There's 10 points, and there's a spread.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. But still, I thought the Eagles could have played a little bit better in that game, and they didn't. But I still don't chalk it up to the Browns playing better than I thought. I chalk it up to the Eagles playing worse than I thought.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna go against. I'm 6. Is it 6?
Yeah,
give me the Bengals -6, man. The Browns stink.
I'm going to go under 42 here. I think the Browns offense is just going to be complete. You know, we traded Amari Cooper. What even are we anymore at this point? I mean, what is trading your best wide receiver and probably best offensive player tell the rest of the team? Like, we're just giving up. Like, obviously, what we're doing isn't working.
It's just the Bengals defense is bad, dude.
They look good against the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants had no Malik Neighbors though.
I know, but who do the Browns have?
Yeah, nobody. I agree with that. I agree
Nobody.
with that.
So the Bengals defense looked a lot better. So
Okay.
yeah,
Don't hate the pick.
Yeah, 42. I mean, listen, would I be shocked if the Bengals covered 6 points? Absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
Would I be shocked if the Browns scored 2 touchdowns? Yeah, I'd probably be pretty
Jesus.
shocked there.
Yeah, no, all right. I don't hate the pick. I'm going to lay the 6 with the Bengals.
All right. Next game we have. I think I know where you're going with this one. So we got the Houston Texans at the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to switch it up a little bit.
2.5. Packers -2.5, over under 47.5.
Yeah, I'm going to switch it up this week. Listen, if I'm going to sit here and hate on Jordan Love when he plays terrible and just go ballistic and scream from the mountaintops how bad he is, I got to also give him credit when he plays good. He played great. He played great. And he has the capabilities to play great. I just don't think he has the capabilities to continue to do it at a high level week in, week out, and be this top 10, top 5 guy everybody thinks he is.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I do think the Packers are a great football team. I've been on that wave for a few weeks now. And Jordan Love showed up last week, played great, and I don't think the Packers are going to be slowing down anytime soon. But I'm going to take the over here. And because I love CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud just always finds a way to win when it comes down to the wire. I feel like he's the kind of guy he's like the new Aaron Rodgers in a sense. Like when there's a 2 minutes left in the game, he's got the ball, they're going downfield. It almost just feels like they're a guarantee to go score and win the game. So I do think it'll be close. I think the teams are relatively even, and I think CJ is a little bit better than Love. So I'm gonna roll with the over and thinking it's just gonna be a shootout, tit for tat. I don't know who's gonna come out on top, but I'll take the over.
This is going to be one of my best bets, the over 47.5.
Yeah.
So I made the mistake last week of not checking the weather in Green Bay, and it was downpouring on Sunday when they played the Cardinals.
I didn't even think of that. Is
and
it supposed to be?
Still hit 47. You got clear, sunny skies, 55 degrees, no wind. So this is 47.5. This week it should fly over that. 2 high-scoring offenses. Green Bay's defense is pretty good, but the Texans just gave up 20 plus to the Drake May and the Patriots. And you know what? Green Bay's got a better offense. And
Yeah. Give me the over 47 here.
47.5. Another best bet there.
Over 47.5. Yep.
Next game, we have the Miami Dolphins at the Indianapolis Colts. Over under is 43.5. Colts are -3. Huntley and Anthony Richardson seems to be on track to play.
I want to get behind Anthony Richardson for whatever reason. I just want him to be good.
You don't know which one's going to show up.
I think he can be good. He kind of reminds me of like Cam Newton, but like
Mhm.
obviously Cam Newton played better earlier on than Anthony Richardson is, but he shows just these flashes of just like incredible shit, dude. I mean, he does. I think Joe Flacco is a better fit for the Colts as far as just like winning football games is concerned,
Yeah.
but oh man, Miami, they look lost without Tua.
Yeah.
They just look lost without
Coming
Tua.
off a bye, you think they figure anything out?
Not really. I think they just need a quarterback who can run that system the way it's designed, and I don't think Huntley's the guy. I thought Huntley was going to come in and play really well, and he just hasn't. So, give me AR. I'm gonna have some faith in Anthony Richardson in this week. If you can't beat the Dolphins, then with the way they're stacked up right now, then you really kind of have no business beating anybody. So I'll take Anthony Richardson laying 3. I'll take the Colts. The Colts are at home, right?
Yeah.
Yep, in the Loud House, baby.
Yeah, I'm going to take them too. I mean, until I see anything from Huntley that's better. I mean, they still struggled against Patriots before their bye week to
Mhm.
score points, so I don't see really how that could change. I think the Colts just have a good offense. I don't think Miami's defense is anything anyone should be afraid of.
No.
And even if Anthony Richardson just runs the ball, I think that they can run up and up and down the field on them. I don't think Miami knew who they were game planning for the whole
Mhm.
week. Did they do half the week game planning against Flacco? Did they do half against Richardson? Maybe they're stuck in the middle of what they're doing. Um, Colts generally are a good home team against the spread, so if all it is a field goal, then I'll take the field goal, or I'll take the Colts -3 as
I'm
well.
buying low on Anthony Richardson, man. I think Anthony Richardson's kind of getting wrote off pretty quickly, but I think people are kind of putting him in that category of, oh, he's terrible. He's going to be a bust.
I mean,
He's gonna
week
be a
one,
this."
they were week one until when he played, and they were lighting the world on fire, like
Yeah.
20 plus points. And like you said, it's like Cam Newton esque. He's got to be a little more accurate. He does make the boneheaded decisions once in a while, but even so, I mean,
If he plays to the best of his ability, he's kind of borderline an unstoppable player in the NFL with his size, speed, power.
I mean,
like
you
the way
see
he
their
throws
offense,
the
like the
football.
way Joe Flacco runs the offense. It's like, wow, they're scoring almost 30 points a game. Like this is the way their offense should be every single week.
Yeah, I know, and I don't think
Taylor,
they're.
Pittman, Pierce, and Downs. Like that's a good team.
Yeah, as crazy as it is, I think they are better with Joe Flacco. But,
Oh, I do too.
But I'm gonna roll with the fact that Anthony Richardson's gonna get back on track against a subpar team, and they're gonna get the win here.
I like it. Oh, man, next game, electric game. We have the Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are -2 over under 49.5.
Over 49.5. I'm not going against the Vikings, even though they are basically have to be due to cool off at some point. I mean, I don't think they're going to go undefeated. The Lions lost A. Hutch, Aiden Hutchinson,
Yeah.
best pass rusher they have. So I think that's going to help Darnold and the Vikings put up a lot more points. I mean, not a lot more, but you know what I mean. It's a lot
Yeah,
easier when you don't have the number, like you took TJ Watt off the Steelers. Like I think you like your.
Oh, it's
you're
gonna
like,
be a
yeah,
difference
it's going to
in the
be a
game.
difference. So I don't think he's that caliber of player, but I still think he makes a huge difference for the Lions. So I think the Vikings will score points, and I don't think anybody can deny the Lions are going to score points. So
All right.
I'll just take the over. I think it's a pretty easy pick.
I do too. And I know we might sound like a broken record here, but it's like 49.5. I'm sorry. It's just not enough.
No,
for
it's not
any Detroit Lion game. And the Vikings offense this year should be enough to prove to people that they can score 20 to 30 points on just
no
about
problem.
anybody.
Yeah, no problem.
With that arsenal. So this seems like a pretty
No-brainer
easy-
pick.
because I don't know who this is division game. Vikings coming off of a bye. I don't know who's going to win this game.
It's a coin flip winner, and it's an easy over.
easy over. I'm going right there with you.
What do we got for?
We got 5 minutes left.
Okay.
We'll get one more here. The Philadelphia Eagles
Mhm.
at the New York Giants. Philly is -3 over under 43.
Yeah, man, I'm doing something I haven't done in a long time. I'm just gonna roll overs here. I think the Giants are gonna get Malik Neighbors back. I mean, I'm not 100% sure of that, but I would assume that.
He's on track to play.
Okay, so if the Giants get Malik Neighbors back, I mean, they've looked good without him, and I think he's hands down the best player they have. So you're going to get the best player in your offense back after you've already played pretty well the past few weeks. And I think that the Eagles should win this football game. I think the Giants will stick around. Three doesn't seem like it's enough. Three doesn't seem like it's enough because I think the Eagles should win by more than that. But I'm going to lean over 43.5. I think the number's too low. I think it's going to go over.
I am going to take the Giants +3. I mean, it didn't work for me last week taking +3.5, but getting Neighbors back is huge.
Mm-hmm.
I like their running back, Tracy.
Tracy.
And he's almost give him over Singletary any day of the week. He's been killing it. But getting Neighbors back is such a big thing for the Giants. Their defense has been to hold the Bengals to basically 10 points is pretty impressive.
The Eagles, I think, lost. Like Lane Johnson came back and the other guy went down.
The other guy went down.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, the Giants didn't have Thibodeau last week, and I don't think they have him this week either. But
I do think the pass rush is going to be a big factor in the Eagles against the Eagles this week. So I guess that would probably trend more towards the under. But I still think that the Eagles will score points. The Giants will score points. I think the Giants will stay in it. I like your +3, but I just don't think
I'm
it's
just
enough.
taking the home dog again. And,
Okay.
It's a division game, so you historically the Eagles have, in the Sirianni era, have destroyed the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
At home, on the road, doesn't matter, but it just doesn't have the same feeling as it
Yeah.
did as 2 years ago. Sirianni should be fired. Guy's a clown.
He is a clown.
Brings the kid to the podium with him after an unimpressive win against the Browns.
Talking shit to the Cleveland fans. Like, dude, they're the worst team in the NFL. You beat them barely.
He was talking to his own fans.
Oh,
it was his own fans
I
he
didn't
was
even know.
talking to. Like, the guy's just a clown, and then he had to come out with an apology the next day. It's like, get this guy out of Philly and you have a Super Bowl team. You keep him there and you're going to lose in the divisional round. It's as simple as that. All right, we're moving to the 4 o'clock slate now on Sunday. Our first game is the Las Vegas Raiders, almost said Oakland Raiders, against the LA Rams. Rams -6.5, over under 43.
Rams -6.5 here.
Cooper Kupp practice this week.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to play or not. My pick doesn't really hinge on it. So if he plays, great. If he doesn't, I don't really care. I just think that the Raiders are not that good. I don't think Aiden O'Connell's any good. I think Matt Stafford and the Rams have the ability. I know they can disappoint you random weeks here and there, but like if they can kind of string together some plays, I think that they can play a lot like they did against the Niners. Like, I mean, you can beat the Niners, come back on that defense, being down 17 with nobody healthy, and go downfield in the final drive and win the football game. I think you can kind of do it against anybody, and definitely can do it against the Raiders. So 6.5 doesn't seem like enough. I think the head coach is better, the quarterback's better, team's better. Just give me the Rams.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams -6.5 too for literally everything you just said. It's like Raiders are a team that's depleted. They knew they were losing Devontae Adams for weeks, but that's not the reason. But still, when you have a team going to a backup quarterback, they have no idea who's their best running back. And
lose their best wide receiver.
The head coach, the players probably know that the head coach is probably gone after this year anyway. They have Tom Brady is now finally approved to be an owner. They know things are going in a different direction. I'll take the Rams here. If they get Cooper Kupp back, this is such a boost to that offense, especially at home. I mean, it'll probably seem like a home game for the Raiders, honestly, but Matt Stafford, bounce back week off a bye. I'll take McVay, Kupp, and Stafford -6.5. Give them to me. Next game we have the Carolina Panthers at the Washington Commanders. Commanders -8, over under 51.5.
Yeah, Commanders -8. I know that Carolina will probably string together some points against the Commanders because I don't think the Commanders are necessarily a great defense. And I do think that the Panthers are able to score points, but their defense is just so bad. And Jaden Daniels is just so good that I think the Commanders are going to run it up, man. I think the Commanders are going to score a ton of points. I would probably maybe even lean to the over in this game.
Their team total's 30.5.
Yeah, they're going to score more than 30. They're going to score more than 30. But I like the idea of the Commanders winning by more than 8 than I do the over. So I'll roll with Commanders -8.
Yeah, I think we know who the Panthers are now. awful defense. I mean, they're still, as long as they roll Andy Dalton out there, you can, he's going to put up some sort of points, but maybe not enough to cover that. But I'll do similar. I'll do the over 51.5. I think Commanders get 37 on their own.
For sure.
But their defense isn't that great. They just kind of got embarrassed by the Ravens a little bit. They haven't proven to really stop too many people, but the Panthers defense definitely hasn't stopped anyone. So give me over 51.5. That seems like a safe bet. All right. Best game of the week, in my opinion, we have the Kansas City Chiefs on the road against the 49ers. 49ers minus 1.5, over under 47.
I'm going to go Niners at home, laying 1.5. I think the Chiefs, I know Patrick Mahomes has pulled together some crazy wins, and he doesn't really look unbelievable. I mean, he comes through when it counts. The refs have helped him out in a few games. They're kind of, I know this is like a ridiculous statement to make, but they're kind of like an unimpressive 5-0.
Oh, like 100%.
You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, when it comes playoff time, I'm not going against Mahomes, and I do think that Patty is going to find a way to win all these games. He's unbelievable, but they don't strike me as like this unbelievable juggernaut of a team. I know they're 5-0, but I think the Niners are put together better than the Chiefs are. I just think Mahomes carries them to the next level. I think Brock has played pretty good. And they're at home, weighing 1.5. I think the Niners are the better overall football team. I think the coaching is very similar. I mean, obviously, you probably give the edge to Andy Reid, but great coaches, great teams, good defenses, good offenses. Like, I'm just going to roll with the home team here.
Yeah, this is so tough. The Chiefs are coming off a bye week, so it's like the Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes is so good if he's a dog. I mean, he might be undefeated against the spread getting points, but this is like a coin flip game. Chiefs had a bye week. The 49ers also they played last Thursday night, so they have the extended rest too. This is all, I'm taking the 49ers here, minus 1.5, and I know people might be all on us about this, but Super Bowl revenge game. I mean, a home team, this is their let's get back at them for beating us in the playoffs kind of thing. The healthier team would be the 49ers. Rashee Rice is just such a big loss for the Chiefs.
Juju looked great last week. I mean, I know he's not he's not Rashee Rice, but I mean, you couldn't ask for much more than him.
No, you couldn't. But then it's like, it's a 1-game sample size, and he's looked bad for 4 years. So him doing that again, I don't know if it's repeatable.
No, but Kelsey looked good. I mean, listen, I'm not taking anything away.
They're going to have
Kansas
to step
City.
up. Everyone else has to stand up for Kansas City or step up. So Kareem Hunt looked great too for them. It looks like he's just as good as Pacheco ever was.
Yeah.
So I understand that point of it, but I just think this is such a big revenge game for the 49ers that, like, when after losing a Super Bowl against a team like this is one they've had circled on their calendar for a while.
Yeah, and the only thing that bothers me about the Niners is they just make everything look so easy until they get inside the 20, and I don't know what's going on with them this year. It's like they get to the red zone, and it's just like, I don't know what's going on with them. They get to the red zone, like, almost it feels like every drive.
It's too cute, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they were going into last week, and I don't know if I said this or not, they were number 1 in red zone trips, but they were 22nd in efficiency scoring in the red zone.
There you go. Yeah, I don't remember you saying that, but if you did, then I mean I've watched it happen every week, and it feels like they're just the best team, and it feels like they just effortlessly move the ball. It feels like they effortlessly stop teams. Yeah. And then I don't know, like they had those 2 random like collapses at the end where they collapsed against the Cardinals, they collapsed against the Rams, but it feels like Brock Purdy's playing good. It feels like, I don't know. I think the Niners are going to kind of get back on track here. I think they're going to prove to everybody why they are as favored as they are in a lot of these games, and I think that they're going to beat the Chiefs this week.
I love the 49ers first half, right? The Chiefs get off to these slow starts, honestly.
What is the first half spread?
It's got to be probably 49ers -1 if I were to guess, if the spread's -1.5.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like that bet. I wouldn't take it, but I like it.
It's like the 49ers are we blow everyone out to the fourth quarter, we let teams back in, and the Chiefs are we start so slow, then we come back at the end because we have Patrick Mahomes. So not a bad thing to look at, but give us the 49ers -1.5 at home. The Sunday night game, we have the New York Football Jets and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers are home. They're getting 1.5, over under 38.5.
Yeah, man, the Jets are, I guess, like just the primetime team this year. It's unbelievable how many primetime games they have.
Bothers me a little bit.
Yeah,
I
it's
wish we can
unbelievable.
mix it up.
Unbelievable. The Jets, I don't know what they did last week. I mean, I like I said, I didn't watch the entirety of the game, but it just kind of feels like the Jets are just jetting right now. They kind of just disappoint you every week, but I'm still gonna roll with them here. I'm not a huge Justin Fields guy. We don't really know who's playing quarterback, but
Yeah, up in the air. They've been splitting
They're
first
two-
team reps, or like they don't know who's, we don't know who's taking the first team reps. So.
listen, the Jets are 2-4. They're 2-4, and they're still like in it, which just feels like the Jets story every year. Like, they're still in it. They're still in it.
It's the Rodgers effect.
Yeah, but listen, they are still in contention for the division at this point in the season at 2-4, and they need this fucking game. Like, I mean, they need this fucking game. So if they go out and they lose to the Steelers, then like I'll probably pack it in with having hope for the Jets. But like if they can go in and impress everybody and win this football game, I think they can get right back on track. So I'll roll with the Jets.
I'm taking the Jets too. I mean, this is the season. I mean, if you lose to the Steelers and you're 2-5.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not looking good.
It's like almost pack your bags at that point.
Yeah.
Like Cincinnati's clawing for dear life, and they're They're two wins for us. So it's like they're in the same boat, but it's like the Jets. This is a must win. I mean, you just got Devontae Adams. I don't want to hear the excuses. Oh, maybe he didn't get all the practices in this week and doesn't know the offense. Aaron Rodgers got everything he could ask for. And you're playing a team who has a quarterback controversy. It's like we don't even know who's starting the game for Pittsburgh. And I don't know if they know either. So give me the Jets. It's such a homer pick, but
I
this
mean,
is
like
do or
you
die
could
for them.
also like if you're arguing for the sake of the Jets, I know there's not really much argument there, but I mean they are like a couple shanked field goals away from a few extra wins. I mean the shanked field goal in the Denver game, the shanked field goals in the Buffalo game.
I know, but it's like when do the shanks just start coming into like Zerline was automatic last year for the Jets, and now it's like. He's had so many big misses,
Yeah,
no,
I agree.
Against the Bills, I mean, he missed a 30-yard field goal.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I wish that my prediction. Wait, dude, the first episode we filmed of this podcast, I said Devontae Adams will be a Jet before September.
You said by week 7.
Yeah, so there you go.
What week are we in? We're in week 7.
Yeah, so I mean, like I called. I mean, I also did think that he was going to be a Jet probably mid to end of September, which. I mean, I wish he was because it might be a different situation here, But either way, I think he's going to help the team in a big way. Hopefully, it's not too late. That's all I got to say. Hopefully, it's not too late. Hopefully, they can go out, beat the Steelers, rattle off a few wins in a row, and kind of get themselves back in the division hunt.
I agree. We have 2 Monday night games this week. I don't really like the 2 Monday night game thing, but first one we got is the Baltimore Ravens at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baltimore minus 3.5. Over under 49.5.
It's so tempting to take the Bucs at 3.5.
I
know.
It's
so tempting. And what's the over under?
49.5.
Yeah, it's very tempting to take the Bucs plus 3.5, but Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry just look like they're just on one right now, both of them. I mean, some of the craziest plays I've seen this year have came from Lamar, and some of the best runs I've seen this year have come from Derrick Henry. It just seems like they're just firing, man.
Scary team.
And the defense is really probably their weak point at this point. And the Bucs have had a couple of their big moments too, giving up 500 yards passing to Kirk Cousins, and they haven't looked fantastic on defense either. I think they're kind of both in the same boat as far as you want to think they're a pretty good defense, but they also kind of give up a lot of points. So I'm going to lean over here. I'm going to take the over 49.5.
That's the same thing I'm doing, 49.5.
Yeah.
I mean, it's to me, this is like the Bucs have, I think they're still not seen as one of the best offenses in the league, but they are. You know? They put up 50 plus last week on the Saints. They've putting up numbers against every mediocre defense. So
Yeah, absolutely.
why would it stop at this point? And the Ravens offense, juggernaut. Bucks defense, not really that great, to be honest with you. They have their flaws. I mean, the only thing that sucks about this game is it's a primetime game and they usually go under, but 49.5 points is just not enough.
I like Baker though, because like I think Baker gets up for these games, man. He's like a big hype guy, and Lamar's always played
Listen,
pretty
49.5
well
or plus 3.5. It's like I don't know.
You're splitting hairs, but
Yeah.
like I'm just gonna root for a great game.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go over.
Great Monday night game.
Yeah, it's
like,
awesome.
Like one you actually look forward to.
Absolutely. So I'll go over 49.5.
All right, last game of the week. We have the LA Chargers at the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are plus 2.5, over under 43.5.
Both of these teams, I don't know what to make of because I love both the quarterbacks. And, Justin Herbert and that offense kind of got out to a really slow start. And they looked like they were going to be like a run heavy team. Doesn't really have the weapons, but I also think that they looked great last week.
Yeah.
Kyler has put up, I want to get behind him so bad, but like every time you really want to get behind him, he just kind of puts up a stinker. They're losing Marvin Harrison, you said, right?
I tried to look this up today. I don't know if he's playing or not.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything, at least on Twitter or X. I haven't seen anything that says that he's out. So
you know what? I'm on a tear this week with the over. So just give me another over. I'm gonna trust that.
I hate you. You are stealing my thunder.
Yeah,
you're
I'm sorry.
supposed to be the pick guy.
I know.
And I'm supposed to be the over/under.
I know. You really have been all year, but I'm gonna roll with the over here. I just think I have too much faith in both quarterbacks. And I think that both of these quarterbacks, when playing the way that they should be playing, they're electric on both ends. So I'm gonna go over.
Man, you're killing me. I'm gonna go over 43.5 too. It's not enough. I think the Chargers offense is just about to get rolling. They put up 23 on the Broncos through 2.5 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great defense, and I think Herbert, as these weeks go on, he's getting healthier. They're getting more in tune with the offense they're running. And the Cardinals are just a deadlock over team. If there's any over-under that's under 45 for them, you just pull the over because their defense is terrible. And if Kyler Murray has a relatively good game, they're going to score
points.
They're going to score points. So these are games that he gets up for. We're in Arizona, going to have good weather. Over 43.5. So,
yeah, I like the pick.
Do you have your best bets ready?
My best bets, I don't because I just really should have been a little bit more prepared than I was.
That's all right.
But I could string something together here.
Want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first. What's your first best bet?
Give me the Lions and the Vikings over 49.5.
Wow. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I love this one. It's definitely not high enough. I can see this by game time going up to 50, 51.5, probably 52.5. Both unbelievable top 5 offenses. We've seen both these teams score high numbers on their own, regardless of what defenses they played. Lions are rolling right now. Vikings are rolling right now. So, and it's a 1:00 game. So that's what I like the most. And in a dome. So give me over 49.5.
All right, I will take the over 47.5 in the Texans-Packers game as my best bet. And then do you want me to give 2 and then you give 2, or do you want to do 2?
I'll go next if you want.
All right, yeah. So what's your second best bet?
All right, the do or die pick for the New York Jets minus 1.5. Going back to the well, man. Going back to the well.
Yeah, I can't do that.
As a diehard Jet fan, you know what? This is it for them. No more excuses. So give me the minus 1.5.
Okay. I don't hate that. I can't put the Jets in the best bet just yet. I mean, I've had some decent luck with the Thursday night game, so I'm really floating around taking the Saints plus 3. But you know what? I'm gonna go. You know what? Wait, let's lock in a double best bet here. I'm gonna lock in the over in the Lions Vikings game.
Go.
So let's just lock it in. Just like be on the same page. Just be on the same page. I mean, that game. There's no way you turn that football game on at halftime and it's not fucking 21-17.
I mean, that's what we're rooting for.
Yeah, like
right?
that game. That game's gonna be just points after points after points.
Listen, it's such a square thing to do, but like I would be shocked if like at halftime it wasn't 20-20.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over in that game. So I'm starting off with 2 overs. I might go for the trifecta. I might take a third over. I don't know, but
You know what? We have a double best bet because I'm going Texans Packers over
yeah,
the 47
wow.
and a half. I mean, great weather game. Stroud and that offense look unbelievable. And Jordan Love, Dylan hates him, but he can sling the rock and he can score some points. That
Yep.
offense looks really good. So you got 2 mediocre defenses, but 2 great offenses. Over 47 and a half, not enough.
All right, I'm gonna just stick with my boy here. I'm gonna go -8 Commanders. I'm not gonna do an over under.
Oh,
The
man.
I was gonna do 3 of them, 3 overs, and just be like all on the overs this week, which I clearly picked a lot of overs. But dude, Jaden Daniels is just too good, and like the I'm gonna go out on a limb. I don't know if they punt again. Like I don't know if they punt.
Probably
Like you know
not.
what I mean? Like I think they're
Yeah.
just gonna score 40 points in this game. I just don't think Carolina can keep up. So my third best bet will be Commanders -8.
I do have two things I love. Like one I said 49ers first half. If it's -1, that's a great one. And I do have 2 game 6 point. Give me the Bills -2.5. Give me the Commanders -2.
Wow, that's a lock.
Love those two. And you know what? If they lose, I'll come on here next week and put it against the record. But I those are two that I absolutely love. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
just think Tennessee and Carolina, 2 bottom of the barrel teams. So
Yeah. 2-team 6-pointer?
yeah.
Yeah. I kind of like that. I like that a lot,
Right?
actually.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna
Thank you.
go with if I did a 2-team 6-pointer, I'll roll with the Saints +9 into Bengals money line.
I love that too.
Yeah,
I-
Saints +9 to Bengals money line would be my 2-team 6-pointer.
All right, lock it in. That's all we got for this week. Do you have any card updates for us, or you're all,
I went to
more
a card
come?
show. I went to I think it was called the Cardboard Carnival in New Jersey. Just to check out some of the cards and stuff and check things out. I don't have any updates. I plan on eventually getting to a point where I can live stream and just do some card breaks, set up a couple of I'm gonna go out and buy a lot of cards, probably downtowns, kabooms, RPAs, stuff like that, and kind of just stick them in these they're called repacks,
Yep.
where you kind of put them in boxes and you give a floor and a ceiling value and then charge people per division and then you just kind of break them. I haven't had any experience doing it, but I've seen a ton of these live streams. I've jumped in a lot of these breaks just to check it out and see what it is. It looks like it's something fun, something cool. I'm sure a lot of the people who watch the show do
Yeah.
some similar stuff. So you know what? I'm gonna give it hell. I'm gonna try to get up and running in the next week or two. So I'll keep you guys posted on what we're doing with that.
Yeah, I think like we'll get into like some fantasy stuff too
Yeah.
in the next week or so. Give some mid-season updates before the playoffs start. See kind of what players we think are on the rise, on the fall. I have seen somewhere people want to see us get back into fantasy football a little bit.
Yeah, no, for
Um,
sure.
So the people you want to buy high on, in my opinion, Demario Douglas, Drake May looks good, and Evan Ingram is back and fully healthy. So a lot of up and coming running backs this week. I thought Chase Brown looked unbelievable. He'll probably get first team carries. Tracy from the Giants looks like he's gonna, even when Singletary comes back, it looks like he's probably gonna be the main guy there. So something to look out for this week. But thank you all for listening. Again, as always, keep following us and commenting and liking all of our videos. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Double or Nothing Podcast, on all social media platforms. And we'll see you next week.
Awesome. See you guys next week.